Hi guys, when it comes to portable vlogging style tripods, the PGYTECH MantisPod has definitely been the most popular product in this category. Well, now Ulanzi has introduced their take on this type of tripod, and this one does this, which is insanely useful. Let's talk about it. So if you're like me, and if you are, congratulations, I am a hell of a guy, you're going to need a small little tripod that can double as a selfie stick for when you are walking around with your cameras, talking your nonsense, or for me, doing my reviews. I've been using the MT46 from Ulanzi for quite a while. Quick release. I love it very much. But these two right here, with the style of tripod they do offer some advantages over this guy. I will compare all three. The PGYTECH Mantis, this is the 2.0. This is now the TT38 from Ulanzi that I'm pointing at, and this here is the MT46. Now, both of these companies will send me products for review. I have no skin in the game. I don't care which one you purchase, as long as you go through my affiliate link, of course. But no, I'm just going to, demonstrate the products, show you the features, and then you can figure out which one might be better for you, if any at all. But honestly, I would recommend one of these three tripods if you do stuff like I do. So the first thing we should talk about is the big standout feature on the TT38, which may make a lot of people want to choose this right away, and that is the deployment of the legs. You can walk around talking away, telling everybody how awesome you are, and then with one touch of a button, you are ready to go. And that is so much more useful than I thought it was going to be, because I'm often carrying multiple cameras, multiple tripods, lenses in one hand, because I do a lot of comparisons on the channel. I don't know what you do specifically, but what I'm saying is often my left hand is occupied. Nothing weird, everybody, just holding cameras. And so to be able to set this down and then do something else, maybe I'll change out a lens, pick it back up, oh, it's just so nice. It may seem like a little thing, it is not. It is a constant daily struggle. This is one of the reasons that I am very prone to using this guy right now. I love that, switching it out, putting it down. Of course, we have to talk about the little lever that is in these two tripods that the MantisPod made famous. It just comes out right here, and now you have many more options to mount your camera. You're out in the wild, you got a tree there, you can just hang it right there on the tree. You want to get these two legs secured as well, but if you got a window there, a rock, something, anything you can latch this onto, then you can get many different angles, which is cool, instead of having to just put your tripod down on the ground. Now, this one also features it here, the TT38, so you just take that little lever out from the back right here, and then that will do the same thing. It can just hang down off a little ledge, and you keep these 2 feet secure, and a lot more versatility. So this one right here, as much as I love this tripod, I can't just hang it anywhere and film my gorgeous face. I have to find places to prop this up so that I can get my angles. These guys may have hooks, but the MT46 has a trick up his sleeve, and that is extension. And this is a nice solid metal pole. I like this a lot, and I use it all the time to get a little bit extra reach, especially if I have a lens that is not super wide. If I'm not using my 11mm from Sony, then I am often extending this out fully. And as you can see, the PGYTECH and the TT38, they have about the same maximum height, which is this, whereas the Ulanzi height can go much higher. Now, it's not super sturdy when you're up, with a camera here, especially with a heavier lens. I would be careful when you're doing these types of things, but when it comes to vlogging, you tip it this way and then you can go. Now, the advantage might not be as big as it appears at first when you do this, because of the design of these ones here. It's already angled at a grip. So your extra reach is about this much right here. It's an extra 6 inches or so. And the grip is not as comfortable because it is straight, whereas this one right here, it's curved like this, and it's the same thing with the MantisPod, because you have a nice comfy grip. Ergonomically, this is better for carrying around than this guy, but he does have a longer reach. So here I am in a typical vlogging scenario for me. This is the TT38 from Ulanzi. I am outside, sucking in my gut, trying to pretend like I don't notice all the people staring at me right now. But this is the 11mm f1.8 on the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. So this is the field of view you can get, and it's quite comfortable to hold this angled handle. That is why I like this little tripod and the MantisPod when it comes to vlogging, more comfortable to hold for longer periods of time. I could extend it out a little bit further, but now that's just uncomfortable. I'm going to keep it in right here. Let's take a look at the other two tripods. This is the MantisPod 2.0. As you can see, pretty much the exact same field of view. It is a little bit lighter in the hand and about the same amount of comfort as the Ulanzi. Both quite usable for vlogging, which makes sense. That's what they were designed for. Now we have the little Ulanzi MT46, but I have the selfie stick extended all the way out. So you are going to get a wider field of view. However, it is not quite as comfortable to hold because it is not an angled little handle there, but still nice lightweight tripod. I've been using this for a couple of years. I have no problem with it whatsoever, but I do have to admit the other two tripods are more comfortable to hold. And with the MantisPod, it is similar to the MT46 in that you have to manually put in all the legs. You definitely need two hands to do that. It does go down nice and solid, but you know, you have to adjust it with two hands. Don't have that quick release button. Now, speaking of buttons, the MantisPod from PGYTECH does have an advantage over these two with this little button that you see right there. You press that and then you can actually put the tripod even lower. So if you want a lower profile shot, then you just put it right down here. This is the minimum height for both of these tripods. So if you want lower shots to the ground, then the PGYTECH is the way to go. The PGYTECH also has this center button right here, so you can move the ball head left to right. So when you are down in this mode, you'll see the ball head goes over this way. So you want to adjust that back up here. And then if you want to go back to your regular mode, now it's over here. So you can adjust it this way. It is a bit stiff and you have to press the button with a fair amount of force, but it does actually give you some more flexibility in all modes because you can get the ball head in different spots right here. And then you have the regular ball head. You loosen it up and you can position it any which way you want. Now, the two Ulanzi tripods, they don't have that left to right action. They don't really need them because they are only in one position. They don't go lower to the ground, and you still have the full rotation of the ball heads on both of these things right here. And it is just a little lever on the side and you are good to go. But the TT38 does have a couple of advantages on the ball head compared to the other two devices. Let me just show you right here. You can lock all of the axes, and then there's an extra knob right here under this camera. Now I can do pans. You see that? So not only can you loosen it to go with the full ball head, but you can also just lock it. And let's say you wanted to do a panorama, and then you just can unlock that right there and then turn side to side. To do a panorama on these two, it's just gonna go loose. You see what I'm saying? There's no real way to lock it down and have the pan just turn on its own. And it also has little markings to show you where you are so you can remember where your location is for your panning. I think that is a nice little feature. Also, what is nice is that you can physically turn where the cold shoe is going to be on this particular tripod. So it takes a bit of effort because it's nice and stiff, which is good, but you can turn. Let's say you wanted the mic to point that way or a light to point this way. You can just turn. Now you can still adjust the cold shoe on both of these ones right here, but it is more difficult. You have to get an Allen key for the MT46, and you need a slotted screwdriver for the MantisPod 2.0, and then you can change it out. But like, I think it's much better to be able to twist it on the fly and change the location of whatever device you are connecting. But I do find the ball heads are much higher quality on the Ulanzi, especially this MT46. This is basically an all-metal tripod. This one over here has some metal and some plastic on the TT38. The PGYTECH, it's pretty much all plastic, a fairly lightweight plastic. It does feel a nice bit cheaper in the ball head than these ones. Now, all three of these tripods do feature quick release systems, which is a must in my world. And this one here has my original favorite, the F38. I have those plates on the bottom of all of my gear, and then I just take it, I slide it in there, and I am ready to go. Love it very much. But this one only takes F38 plates, so you need to keep that in mind. Not a problem for me. I have tons of those plates. The new TT38 also accepts my favorite F38 plates, which are made by Falcam, by the way. That's a separate company from Ulanzi, but they are sold on Ulanzi's website. They work together quite closely. So the F38 plates, they do fit in to my little TT38, so that is great. But the system it actually comes with is called the Yuka system. So this one is the Yuka plate, and the Yuka plate doesn't fit into my Falcam F38, my older style F38. But the new F38 system that they're using these days at Falcam, like with the backpack clip and their new tripod, the tree root, this will fit in just fine. Here's my Falcam F38 backpack clip, and as you can see, the Yuka system fits in just fine and dandy. Now, of course, PGYTECH have their own quick release system. This is the plate right here. Once again, that doesn't fit in the traditional F38 head that I like, but it does fit that backpack clip that I just showed you, and also the new Falcam tree root tripod, which is the tripod that I'm using all the time now. This one, it has a lever. You push it down and then you just put your plate in and then you can lock the lever with a little switch here. The advantage of that is that most Arca Swiss plates will fit in here. So if you have a different plate, like this one here is from Peak Design, and that is Arca Swiss, and I can fit that in right here too, to the Mantis pod, and then I can lock that. So that is an advantage if you have multiple different styles of plates. As long as they're Arca Swiss compatible and they are smaller, they can fit into this thing right here. Now, there is a little bit of a drawback with the PGYTECH, with the way it is that you basically have to lock it in place. If you don't do the lock, you have a chance of slippage right here. See, you can actually move the plate when it is in there and you don't have it locked. Now, you can lock it by pushing that lever over, and now it is nice and solid in there. However, if you don't have that locked, then it can move around. Whereas the other two, once it's locked in, whether or not you actually physically lock it so that you don't accidentally take it out, it is still going to be solid. It's not going to move back and forth. Now, you can lock it for the extra security, but that's one of the reasons I really like these quick release plates with that click, because I know it's in there and then I know it's not going to move. I mean, is that a big deal? Not really. I do find these a little bit quicker because of the click, and I often don't lock them, but really you should lock them for the extra security. You can also lock the button on the MT46 by just pulling the lever out and pushing it up, and now you won't be able to press that button anymore. With the TT38, there is a locking mechanism. Once you get your camera in, you can push this switch over to the side, and now you can't press the button and accidentally release your camera. The TT38 will be the heaviest of these tripods. Let's just weigh them right here. We have 382 grams without the base plate for the quick release system, and we have on the PGYTECH, we have 295 grams. So it's almost 100 grams lighter, and this guy's in between the MT46 at 317 grams. If you do feel a little bit in the hand, honestly, not much of a difference in real life, but yeah, that one's a tiny bit lighter. But while a bit heavier, it's also much more comfortable. It's got a nice rubberized texture and it feels very solid. The PGYTECH is just kind of a hard plastic, and it is a hard plastic, and it's not as grippy and not as comfortable, to be sure. So I think the grip on this is a nice upgrade from this guy right here. Now, there are nice rubber grips on the MT46 as well. Not quite as comfortable because it's not angled like I said, but you know, really good build quality. Nice, just metal everywhere. This thing is solid as a rock. You can knock out an enemy. You go do a little bit of vlogging, boom, get your worst enemy, knock them cold. This one right here, though, in terms of the rest of the build quality, I would say it's a little bit better than the MantisPod. The MantisPod does feel a bit cheaper than this, not just in the ball head, but overall. Just all of the legs, all of the parts, a little more plasticky, lightweight feel on this guy, a little more robust here, and of course, all the metal over here. With payload capacity, both of these style tripods take 3 kilograms, and they say that the MT46 takes 2 kilograms, but I've definitely put more than 2 kilograms on that. Still, I will tell you what the manufacturers recommend. 3 kilograms max for these guys, 2 kilograms max for this one. But honestly, if you're carrying around a camera and lens combo that's more than 2 kilograms, you're going to get pretty tired, and these things are for handheld use. Now, something extra the PGYTECH has is a little place for a phone holder. You just lift up that flap, put the phone holder right there, and there you go. Now, you do have to buy that separately. PGYTECH does sell a phone holder, so if you wanted to have that ready to go, you could put it right there in that slot for an extra cost. You can't do that on either of these two tripods from Ulanzi. Now, when we're talking about price, the PGYTECH is the most expensive at $70 USD. The TT38 is coming in at $60, but right now, depends when you're watching it, it is August 15th as I'm recording this, 2024, and this one will actually be discounted, I think, to $50. So regular price, $60, discounted right now to $50. I think that is a pretty good value, and the MT46 is about $57 the last I checked. I will leave links below for the latest prices. Also, check the PGYTECH website as well as Ulanzi. They often run nice deals and promotions. You might be able to get them even cheaper. Of course, I should mention there are more variations of the PGYTECH that will get more expensive. Instead of paying $70, you could pay $90, and then you get a little Bluetooth remote magnet that connects right here to the leg, and that is kind of cool to be able to start and stop your cameras if they're compatible with that Bluetooth remote, and that might be worth the price of admission for people right there if they're willing to pay $90 and they like the features of the MantisPod. And PGYTECH also sell a MantisPod Pro, but that's about $150. You can reposition the camera from the regular part of the ball head to over there on one of the legs, and then get even further reach out of that one. But personally, $150 for my selfie vlogging style tripod is a little rich for my blood, so I'm going to keep it to this right here, this discussion. And they also sell for like smaller, compact GoPro type cameras. They sell an even smaller, expandable little MantisPod. So, you can check out PGYTECH's website and see all of their offerings. But overall, this one here, I think, is the best value for the money. Now, I can absolutely see a lot of people choosing the MantisPod, even though it's a bit more expensive, because you do have that little lever there to get those extra shots. Can hold a phone holder right there. If you purchase it separately, it can have, a different angle by going lower, and the top, it being just this little lever that goes down, you don't have to put a specific Arca Swiss style plate in there. You can have different Arca Swiss plates going in right there. Then we have the MT46 from Ulanzi. Such great metal construction, robust. I've been using this solid for a couple of years. I love it. It's got that extending column right there, so I can get different heights for my shots, and I just absolutely love the quick release in and out, click, click, click of my F38 system. So great, and I will continue to use this, but I have to say the TT38 is solving a problem for me that has been a major problem for me. The one-handed use, to be able to just do that and put it down, that is making me use this immediately. I have used this often now just because of that feature, carrying a bunch of crap in my hand and then boom, put that down right there. It's still a very good usable tripod. I like the ball head. It is nice and sturdy, and it's got that little hook, of course, right here, like the MantisPod, so you can get other angles, and very, very useful. So let me know what you think down below. Would you choose either of these 3 tripods? If not, you tell me what you choose, and then maybe I'll review that on the channel. Hell, definitely review it on the channel. I love reviewing stuff. So thanks to PGYTECH and Ulanzi for always providing stuff that I can review for you guys. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't know why I'm ending the video like this. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.